By the way, before we get started, your style, you have impeccable taste in the way that you dress, especially on stage.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say backstage you were a little bit more relaxed, but this is great.
My trick is new shoes. Like new shoes will make you feel amazing. Those shoes are called creepers, which are like British shoes, and I think I bought them like the night before. So new shoes, you feel good. That's what that is. I picked them for two reasons. Number one, there's a rubber sole, and number two, it's like an inch and a half, so I just get that in height, which I need. So that's what that is. The height thing was going really well. I had a good set. It ended well. And then Conan came and stood next to me, and we looked like something out of Lord of the Rings. Half the comments from Indian people are like, "Is he short or is Conan tall? Which one is it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's both actually. It's both."
A lot of work goes into a short late-night stand-up set. Join me, JP Buck, as I spotlight the comedians who came up with some of my favorite Conan sets. This is The Setup.
Please welcome the very funny Veer Das.
We didn't meet before you were booked
Yeah.
for the show. That's the thing. Like usually, like I do meet somebody before, but the first time that I saw you, you came to my attention. A good friend of mine, Harika Ndebolu, actually mentioned you in a couple of times and said, like, you have to see him. You've got to see Veer. And I happened to be over in Edinburgh. I think it was 2016, and you were performing. And I had like a 9:00 show, and yours was 11:45 at night.
Yeah.
And I remember I went back to my hotel room to get like maybe 20 minutes of sleep. You were at the Gilded Balloon.
Yes, in the basement.
It felt like I was walking into, when the band, like a band that's about to break, and you're getting to see them in the cool venue before they go and play the big arena. And you're like, I was there.
The nice thing about Edinburgh is there's not a lot of Indians in Scotland, and that's strange, but there just aren't. And so like you'll get Bollywood fans in Edinburgh, and then just guys who don't know who I am, right? Just random British people who don't know who I am, which is just the two extremes of people you can have in the audience. So it's just like, man, I love his movie, and I have no idea. And those two people interact with each other, and that's a nice sort of palpable energy when that happens. And these were preview shows because it was just, I think it was like 45 people. The entire room was 45 or 50 people in the basement late at night, and it my first time there with that show, so it was fun. It was a good time, and we didn't meet even then. Like even then, we didn't say hi or anything.
I wanted to talk to you, but you were kind of getting swarmed after the show. So I was like, I could have waited around, but I didn't want to bother you. And I was like, okay, well, at some point, I'm sure our paths will cross. Flash forward, we didn't get to actually meet in person until I booked you for the show, and you actually came to the studio.
You and me met quickly, like at the Ice House in Pasadena.
Ice House.
I think.
Yes,
right.
we did.
So
That's
I got
right.
booked, and I knew that this was happening. And my manager Reg was like, "All right, you need to get a set together. You need to get a set together." And I'm like, "I don't know what that is because we're Indian, and so for us, like, 6 minutes means 15 minutes. That's how we work." What's cool about you is you didn't even mention that you were watching me at the Ice House. You just kind of showed up after the thing. And you were like, I like that, and that was fun, and maybe go here with it. But had I known you were in the audience before, I would have been a little more nervous, So it was cool of you to kind of wait until I got done with that 10-minute spot to give me notes on it, which was really nice.
It just so happened, and these bookings happen independently, and it depends on the schedule of the guest. It depends on the schedule of, like, sometimes people will change their dates last second, so things get moved around, and you can think that we purposely booked two guests on the same show. This did not happen, and I don't think I even realized it until like the day of or day before.
It was destiny, man. That was insane.
You have a joke in your set about the person who's the lead guest on the show.
I couldn't have predicted it in a million years. So yeah, I had the Apu from The Simpsons joke, which was super important to me to do, because that's the one, like I used to have, like, the only two Indians that Americans have really seen are like Gandhi and Apu from The Simpsons, right? Those are the two guys, which is why you don't consider us sexy, by the way. Like if they were more. So I did the Apu from The Simpsons joke, which I think was, there's no Apu from The Simpsons joke coming up. This is not that. And then I glance over, and like Hank Azaria is sitting right over there, which is insane because he does the voice for Apu. And I think that's 90% of your comment section is just people going, "Oh, snap." Like that's the entire comment section on the thing, which is insane.
My name is Veer Das. I'm from Bombay in India. Has anybody ever been to India? Well, if you haven't been, you must go because your jobs have.
I had 7 other opening lines, and this felt like what I would do if this was a club. And so I ended up going with that. I remember like talking with my team about it and a couple of friends, and I'm like, it's possible that I lose them at line 1. Because it's not, "Hey, good to be here. I'm so happy. I'm from here," etc., etc. It's just in straight. So it either sets context for what the rest of this is going to be, or I lose this crowd and never get on American television again.
Before I start telling jokes, I should clarify something, guys. I have an Indian accent. This is how I talk. I'm not doing a bit. There's no Apu from The Simpsons joke coming up. But give me a little bit of time, my accent will grow on you, right? Or just give me like 4 or 5 generations will be fine. And it's okay to not understand each other. There are things about me that you may not understand, like my accent. There are things about you, America, that I don't understand, like your women.
Now, here's the thing about this joke. What I love about this, it makes you think that you're going to say something almost like very judgmental about their women. And yes, it's presented that way, but it's such a fun idea to turn on the way that most comics would deliver a joke like this.
What I was nervous about in this point is, what's coming up is, you usually go, "Have you tried Indian yet?" which is the line coming up, right? And what you want is ladies going, "Woo, yeah," or whatever, or giving you a bit of a cat call, a little bit of an enthusiastic thing, which most places I played in America, Americans are very enthusiastic. You guys are a woo crowd. I get the woo, right? But the nightmare is just you going, "Have you tried Indian yet?" and ladies going, "Nuh-uh," and just silence. That's the nightmare scenario. But they were kind of nice about this.
I don't understand American women. I don't understand how you can resist this. No. Have you tried Indian yet, ladies? Have you tried Indian? Oh, you must. Once you go brown, the other colors let you down. There are 2 Mexicans in the back like, "Write this shit down, man. This shit applies to us too, essay." No, I apologize. I don't mean to insult Mexicans. I'm just a comedian. I'm not your president.
Once you go brown, the other colors will let you down. Is now a Tinder profile. It's now on T-shirts. If you go through like people dubbing my stuff on TikTok, right, from my movies and all of that stuff, this is the #1 line that they dub. This is the most memorable line from that special as well. And I never thought it would happen. This was just one of those, it's an easy joke, if I'm being completely honest. But I feel like from this point on in the set, we all start to have a little fun. Because, now we know each other.
Everybody's complaining too much. You have to work this out, guys. Everybody's like, "Man, we didn't choose this guy. Now we got to live with him. We didn't vote for this guy. Now we got to live with him." To you Americans, that's a president. To most Indians, that's a marriage. That's what Donald Trump is. He's your arranged marriage, ladies and gentlemen. Because in the most literal sense, your parents picked this guy out for you.
Arranged marriage works. That's really where I'm coming from on this joke. Is you got to work it out. It's an arranged marriage. And this might actually work out. Let's be clear, it didn't. But, it might actually work out. But if you came out and you're like, "This guy, is blah, 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 and I don't like him," or, "He's a fool," etc., etc. I think even somebody who didn't support him politically, I'd lose them with this joke. As you might, as we might respond to like an American coming over and saying your prime minister is, something or the other. So it is a line that you kind of have to walk, because Trump is an easy joke, like our prime minister is an easy joke, but there's still that sentiment of, yeah, it's bullshit, but it's our bullshit. And I think you have to be cognizant and kind of respectful of that. So, if you notice the joke, and I can only say this in retrospect because I wish it was all so pre-planned. I think what works for the joke in retrospect, and it was unplanned, is that there's an offering of an idea that is Indian towards a situation that is American. But if it was just me going, I don't get it, what are you doing? I think there'd be a different response.
And there's religious phobia because I believe that the world is changing and religion can't keep up. I feel like we need to update every major religion in the world. Just take every religion and give it to the company Apple. Every 6 months, Apple can update and relaunch the religion to the world. How nice would that be? That's what we need. We need Islam 6S, ladies and gentlemen. We need Jesus Pro. You would slow terrorism down. Can you imagine how much you would slow terrorism down if every time some nut job wanted to commit a jihad, you first had to sign a new online agreement with Apple? So first you had to get a jihad ID. Then you had to sync all your bombs in your devices to the same jihad ID. Except that one bomb didn't work with the old version of iTunes, so now you have to download the new version of iTunes. And you're all set to go up to heaven and get 72 virgins, but your iCloud only holds 6 virgins, so now you have to upgrade.
I think it's my defense mechanism as well. With the minute I do something that is slightly statement-y, and that's the only word I have for it. Oh, he made a statement, because I don't like that. I don't like sitting in that for too long. I like to go someplace silly, like really fast, and then come back. So I think this is me doing that. From a dynamics point of view. Just let's get silly for a bit.
My favorite part of that joke is just Android users going, what the hell is he talking about?
Always shitting on the androids.
Look how happy and confident I look, right? And just watch that. Just look at that swag pose, and then just watch it go away in like 3 seconds.
Hey! Fantastic! That was fantastic! Veer Das, ladies and gentlemen!
You're not alone. I mean, I even feel my neck cranes all the time when I'm talking to him.
I think your camera guy kind of went, oh shit, look at that difference, and then kind of went up a little bit. It's Gandalf and Frodo. That's what it is. It's great. I don't think we've ever spoken about this, but one cool thing that this did for me was bring back a little bit of goodwill. And I'll tell you how. I think a year before this appearance happened, I'd just been in like a terrible movie, like just a god-awful movie that was panned by everybody, and it was kind of a box office disaster in Bollywood. Okay. And it was one of those movies where the script was terrible and all of us knew, and we took the money, and it was, and just kind of got called out by the media where they were like, you took the money, man, and now we're going to destroy you, and now go sit in exile for like 5 or 6 months. And so I didn't have a movie until a year later, because I just finished shooting it. So it wouldn't come out until, 6 months after this appearance. And so the people's last memory of me wasn't a great memory, is the best way I can put it. And then this came out, and the media got behind it, and people got behind it, and even people who were just critics who hated me, were just kind of doing articles going, fine, his Conan appearance was good. Okay, fine, there, I said it. And so that happened. So you guys got back a little bit of goodwill for me in India as well.